Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, and I don't know if you can see, but my poor friend Sparky's being very frustrated today. He's feeling like the skies are never going to come back because we are filled with smoke out here in South San Francisco. And he's feeling kind of blue, aren't you? Yeah. So today I thought for Sparky we would do Frustration Friday. And this is what I think of when I think of frustration. I think of, I just kind of be like, oh. Frustration is one of those emotions where it's just like, sometimes things aren't going the way you want them to go. And you just get frustrated. You could get angry or disappointed. You could want to stomp your feet. So today is going to be Frustration Friday, but I promise you that it's going to be fun frustration, right? Right, because Sparky and I always like to have a good time when we're together with you. So shall we get started, Spark? Okay, let's work through those frustrations, shall we? Let's start with a Shel Silverstein story. Sparky, you sit right on up there, and we're going to start with a story from Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein. And this is a story I've been wanting to read to you for a long time, but never quite had the right time to do it. It is called The Long-Haired Boy. And I want to show you the picture to start it out. There was a boy in our town with long hair. I mean, really long hair, and everybody pointed at him and laughed at him and made fun of him. And when he walked down the street, the people would roar and stick out their tongues, make funny faces, and run in and slam their door. And they shouted him from the window until he couldn't stand it anymore. So he sat down and he cried till his whole body shook, and pretty soon that hair shook too, and it flapped and flapped, and he lifted and flew. Straight up in the air like a helicopter. Jenny Ricks saw him and dropped her knitting and screamed, "Ah, it's a flying kid!" Lukey Hastings ran and hid under Old Man Merrill's car. Miss Terrence faded, and Henry Quist tried to shoot him down, but missed. "Well, I thought he was a crow," he said, and round he sailed all through the day, smiling in the strangest way, with the wind in his hair and the sun in his eyes. We saw him swoop and bank and rise. He brushed the treetops and skimmed the grass. On Yerby's lawn he almost crashed right into Hanson's silo, but zoomed up in time and almost hit the courthouse. Old Man Cooley bit right through his napkin when he saw a kid fly through the diner hall. And out the window tipped the ladder where Smokey was painting, and he almost had a heart attack. He clung to the rafter. The kid flew on, us running after, cheering and swatting and screaming, "Hooray!" Mayor Lowry shouted, "Hey, come down here, kid. We'd like to say how proud of you we are today. Whoever thought our little town would have a hero in it?" So I'd like to proclaim this day, "Hey, kid, would you please come down here for a minute?" But the flying kid did not come down. He treaded air above the town, sort of crying and looking down at all of us here on the ground. And then up he flew, up into the clouds, flapping and flying so far and high, out past the hills and into the sky, until a tiny speck against the sun was all that we could see of him. And then he was gone. Look, there's his little feet. You know, sometimes we don't treat people the way we should, and that can cause them to get frustrated. He got very sad, didn't he, that little boy? But in the end, he discovered that he had a very special talent, and that special talent took him somewhere very special. And sadly, the people in the town discovered how special that kid was way too late. They should have given him credit for who he was. Yeah, we should be thankful and careful of all of the people in our lives, because everybody has special things and special gifts, don't they, Spark? Even when we're feeling frustrated. You feeling a little less frustrated, Spark? No? Should we sing a song? Okay, we're going to sing Hello, and that'll get us started. Okay, Sparky? You ready? All right. Here we go. Maybe we can take our frustrations out in our song. Here we go. Hello, how are you? Oh, hello. How are you? Oh, hello. How are you? I'm just fine today. I'm glad to see you here today. I'm glad to see you here today. I'm glad to see you here today. I'm so glad to see you. Okay, so what do you say? Let's stomp our feet. Stomp your feet as loud as you can, and stomp your feet as loud as you can. Stomp your feet as loud as you can. I'm so glad to see you. Now, sometimes it helps me to get out my frustrations if I just jump. So jump, jump, jump as high as you can, and jump, jump, jump as high as you can, and jump, jump, jump as high as you can. I'm so glad to see you. Okay, are you feeling a little bit better? Okay, now let's spin around in a circle, shall we? Like a top. Spin, 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 just like a top, and spin, 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 and don't you stop. Spin, 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 just like a top. I'm so glad to see you. Okay, let's make some grumpy, funny faces, shall we? I think this will help Sparky get into a better mood. Okay, let's make a funny face as funny as you can. Make a funny face as funny as you can. Make a funny face as funny as you can. I'm so glad to see you. All right, I don't know about you. I feel better already. How about you, Sparky? Feeling a little better. Here we go. Okay, everybody, wave hello and let's get our day started, shall we? Hello, how are you? Oh, hello. How are you? Oh, hello. How are you? I'm just fine today. Well, I always find, and I mean this honestly, when I'm in a grumpy mood or when I'm feeling frustrated, sometimes taking a big deep breath. Let's take a big deep breath, Spark. Breathe in and blow it out. If I do that a couple times, sometimes that makes me feel better. But you know what else helps me? Singing and dancing. That's right. Sometimes if I just turn off all the lights, close my eyes, turn on some music, and dance, 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 so nobody can see me but myself, it's the best feeling in all the world and puts me in a better mood. How about you, Spark? Does that help you? Yeah. All right. Well, let's get started with some stories. And these stories are loaned to me by Delilah and Jayce. So thank you very much, girls, for lending me books from your library. And this is called Nata. Nata by Helen V. Griffith with illustrations by Nancy Tafuri. Nata. We're going to find out who Nata is, or what Nata is, I should say. Nata by Helen G. Griffith with illustrations by Nancy Tafuri. I love the pictures in here. They're really neat. One of the things I love about sharing stories with you guys is all the different kinds of pictures we get to see. So this is dedicated for Claire and Sarah and for Tara. And there you can see the frog and all the little bees and a snake. Lots of animals, huh? And insects too. Nata was usually good, but one June day she wasn't. She tangled the spider's webs, spoiling the design. She climbed the flower stems and shook out all the bees. She pulled the garter snake's tail. Ignore her, advised the toad.
Oh, that isn't easy to say, says the spider. It's not your web.
And it's not your tail, sniffed the snake. Oh dear. I think Nata is in a bad mood, huh?
What's wrong with Nata anyway? Bzz,
asked the bees. First day of summer, said Toad. That's what's wrong with Nata.
No, it's not,
said Nata. She sneaked up on a sleeping cricket and tied its feelers in a knot. The deer mouse and her babies were watching from their doorway. Nata made a face at them.
Oh, she usually plays games with us, said a baby mouse, and calls us darlings,
said another baby.
She will tomorrow,
said Toad.
No, I won't,
said Nata. Ooh, Nata is having a bad day. Nata picked at a pebble and she threw it into the pond. The fish all darted under lily pads. Just then the Toad called out,
Nata, the cat.
Nata twirled around. Scat, she said. The cat took a slow step forward. Nata stepped backward.
Fly, Nata,
squeaked the mice. Fly, Nata, hissed the snake. Why doesn't she fly? Buzzed the bees. The cat crept forward. Nata stepped backward. I can't look, said the spider. Whoops, let's get that picture in there. This is a very scary situation, everybody. Nata isn't in trouble. The cat leapt. Nata jumped back. She slipped into the pond with a tiny splash. The cat scooped Nata up in his paws, spinning her out of the pond and across the grass. The Toad plopped on top of her and glared at the cat. Brute, she said. The cat tried to look under the Toad.
I dare you,
said the Toad, pulling herself up. The cat paused. Then he stalked out of the garden, looking bored. Nata crawled out from under the Toad.
Ugh,
she said. Is it over? Asked the spider. Thank goodness the Toad was there to save Nata, huh? The deer mouse brushed at the wet leaves and grass that clung to Nata.
Oh, such a mess,
she said.
It could have been worse,
said the Toad. The spider slid to the ground and ran to Nata.
Why didn't you fly?
she cried. Yes, Nata, asked the snake. Why didn't you fly? Nata looked at them mournfully.
I can't,
she said.
Can't fly?
Gasped the bees. Bzz, bzz, bzz.
It happened this morning,
said Nata.
My wings don't work, and they hurt.
Look at poor Nata. No wonder Nata's grumpy. When you're used to flying and all of a sudden you can't fly, that would make me grumpy. Wouldn't it make you grumpy? Nata buried her face in the mouse's fur and began to cry.
Oh, don't cry, Nata,
said the mouse, patting her gently.
Don't cry, Nata,
said the baby mice after her. The cricket woke up.
Is Nata crying?
he asked. The bees hovered around Nata, examining her wings.
They're dry and swollen, bzz, bzz, bzz,
they said.
It's nothing,
said the Toad.
How can you say that?
Demanded the mice. At least Nata has all of her friends, huh?
Oh, there's nothing worse than being able to fly,
said the bees. Bzz, bzz, bzz. Oh, I don't know, said the garter snake.
Try losing your feelers,
said the cricket. Nata stopped crying and sat up.
I feel funny,
she said. Suddenly, her wings split open from one end to the other.
What's happening?
she cried. The dry, broken wings drifted to the ground. In their place were dark, shapeless things that hung limply down Nata's back.
Oh, how awful, she said,
looking at them over her shoulder.
Don't be silly, said Toad. They're your new wings.
They don't look like wings, said Nata. They're ugly.
Well, they just have to dry, said the Toad.
Well, this Toad is awfully smart. Nana sat on a stone and tried to smooth the wrinkled new wings. They were damp and heavy at first, but as she shook them out and they spread out in the sun, they began to brighten and flash with colors. Like a rainbow, exclaimed the spider. Oh, bzz, but will they work? Bzz, bzz, asked the bees. Nata waved her wings, and they fluttered into the air. The baby mice ran beneath her, jumping up and down. Oh, lovely, cried the spider. They're perfect, said Nata. Oh, what a nice surprise.
It happens every year,
said the toad. What happens? Asked the garter snake.
Nobody even remembers,
complained the toad.
On the first day of summer, Nata always gets new wings.
I do? Asked Nata. Oh, what fun! Nata flitted to the cricket and carefully untied his feelers. Next time I'll know what's happening, and I won't be so bad, she promised.
You won't remember, said Toad. You never do.
Nata laughed. Of course I'll remember, she said, soaring above the flowers and the setting sun glittering on her new wings. The spider rushed to her web to try a new design before dark, and the cricket crawled under a leaf and began to chirp. The garter snake yawned and slithered away through the grass. Good night, Nata, called the baby mice, tumbling through their doorway. Good night, you darlings, Nata called back. Little lights twinkled in the grass as the lightning bugs woke up. Nata has new wings, they sang out, launching themselves into the air. They're beautiful. Nata fluttered among the flowers, deciding where to sleep. Thank you, she said politely, snuggling into a rose. But I've always had wings. The toad nodded knowingly.
She's forgotten already, she said.
Forgotten what? Asked the cricket from under his leaf. The toad sighed.
Never mind, she said.
She settled herself comfortably in the cool, damp flower bed.
Anyway, she said, Nata will be good tomorrow.
Well, of course, said the cricket. She always is. And that is the story of Nata by Helen V. Griffith with illustrations by Nancy Tafuri. Now, you know what's interesting about that story is that Nata was having a very, very bad day, but it sounds like this happens once a year to Nata, that she gets a new pair of wings. And that day for her is very frustrating and scary, wasn't it? But as soon as she had her new wings, and as soon as she was happy again, she forgot all about how hard things had been. And you know what? So did everybody else. Toad was the only one who had the memory. I didn't know toads had such good memories, did you? But it also lets me know that, sometimes if we take the time to just put ourselves into a nice, calm place, then we can get through what's making us so frustrated, and then we can forget about it, So let's do a little song that helps us forget about being frustrated or grumpy. And I'm calling it, If You're Grumpy and You Know It. If you're grumpy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're grumpy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're grumpy and you know it, then your face is gonna show it. If you're grumpy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're grumpy and you know it, jump up and down. If you're grumpy and you know it, jump up and down. If you're grumpy and you know it, then your face is gonna show it. If you're grumpy and you know it, jump up and down. If you're grumpy and you know it, stick out your tongue. Blah. If you're grumpy and you know it, stick out your tongue. Blah. If you're grumpy and you know it, then your face is gonna show it. If you're grumpy and you know it, stick out your tongue. Blah. If you're grumpy and you know it, then go growl. Grr. If you're grumpy and you know it, then go growl. Grr. If you're grumpy and you know it, then your face is gonna show it. If you're grumpy and you know it, then go growl. Grr. If you're grumpy and you know it, 2 or 4, stomp your feet, jump up and down, stick out your tongue, blah, and growl. Grr. If you're grumpy and you know it, 2 or 4, stomp your feet, jump up and down, grumpy after you do a song like that, huh? How are you doing, Sparky? You feeling a little bit better? Okay. Are you ready for a story that's about some friends? Okay. So here's some friends that have a little bit of a problem. They get a little grumpy with each other, and it's called Yes, We Can. Yes, We Can. And this is by Sam McBratney with illustrations by Charles Fuge. Yes, we can. These are very cute pictures. Wait till you see these. Yes, we can. By Sam McBratney and Charles Fuge. Look at all those beautiful leaves. We're actually getting to a time when the leaves might start to change and fall on the ground, aren't we? Little Roo was chasing leaves one windy day. Roo's friend, Country Mouse, and Quacker's duck were waiting to play with him. Aren't these cute pictures? I love that little kangaroo. And look at that duck and that mouse. Aren't they adorable? Wait, let's see. I think I missed a page here. Whoops. That happens sometimes when you've got these light paperback books. Let's make a big pile of leaves, said Roo.
Ooh, a mountain of leaves,
said the Country Mouse.
The biggest quack ever seen. Quack.
Quacked Duck. They began to collect all the leaves they could find, but making a leaf mountain is hard work, so after a while they stopped for a rest. There they are, having a little rest after collecting all those leaves. That is a hard job. I used to live on the East Coast, I know. While they were resting, little Roo said to his friends, Quacker Duck,
I know something you can't do. You can't jump over a big, big log.
Yes, I can, said Quacker Duck. Quacker Duck tried as hard as she could, but little ducks aren't made to jump over big, big logs. Country Mouse thought it was so funny when Quacker Duck fell over the fallen down tree. I guess that would look pretty funny, but sometimes it's not nice to laugh at our friends, is it?
Quack, don't laugh at me,
said Quacker Duck to Country Mouse.
I know something you can't do. You can't float on a puddle.
Yes, I can, said Country Mouse. So Country Mouse tried to float on the puddle, but the little mouse really isn't made for floating. So little Roo thought it was so funny, then Country Mouse crawled out of the water soaking wet and dripping. Uh-oh. So Roo is laughing at Country Mouse.
Don't laugh at me, said Country Mouse. I know something you can't do. You can't catch your own tail.
Yes, I can, said Roo. Roo tried as hard as he could to catch his own tail, but his tail would not be caught. It was too far away. Country Mouse and Quacker Duck laughed and laughed as Roo ran around in circles. This is one of those days where everybody's kind of laughing at each other, aren't they?
Don't you dare laugh at me,
cried Roo.
Well, you laughed at me,
said Mouse. Quack, and you laughed at me, said Duck. No one was happy. No one was happy because each had made fun of someone else, and someone else had made fun of them. Instead of making the biggest mountain of leaves that anyone had ever seen, they looked as if they might all go home in a bad mood. Has that ever happened to you? You're with your friends and suddenly something happens and puts you all in a bad mood? Little Roo's mother came over to see what the fuss was about.
Oh, I'm not surprised the three of you look so grumpy, she said. Nobody likes to be laughed at.
It was true. Nobody likes to be laughed at. Why don't you show each other what you can do, said Roo's mom. She seems pretty smart. Roo cried, I can jump over a big, big log. And he hopped up and over the fallen down tree. That's really good jumping, the others said. Well, kangaroos are noted for jumping, so it doesn't surprise me that Rue's good at jumping.
I can float on a puddle, said Quacker Duck, taking the water with ease. That's really excellent floating, the others agreed.
It's not easy to float unless you're a duck.
And when Country Mouse caught his own tail, Little Roo and Quacker Duck thought that his tail catching was the best that they had ever seen.
He does look like a good tail catcher.
There now, said Roo's mother. Can we all be friends again? Little Roo, Country Mouse, and Quacker Duck looked at each other. They were all thinking the same thing. Yes, we can!
And that's the story of Yes We Can by Sam McBratney with illustrations by Charles Fuge. And I just want to show you this last little picture where they're all hanging out by the biggest pile of leaves ever. So see, sometimes friends, even the best of friends, can have a hard time and get frustrated with one another, but there are ways of working through it. Well, Sparky, are you ready for another song? Mm-hmm. Well, this is a really cute song, and it's called the Friend Song. And if you go to the show notes, you're going to see that I have a link to the YouTube version of it. I sing it a little differently than the one on the YouTube version, but the YouTube version is done with cartoons, and it's these cute little ducks, and they are adorable. Sparky has a crush on one of the lead ducks. Shh. Well, you do. I know you do. Anyway, I think you should give it a watch because it's so cute. But I'm going to sing it now for you. It's called The Friend Song. Oh, I don't walk alone. I don't walk alone. I don't walk alone. I have my friends. I don't walk alone. I don't walk alone. I don't walk alone. I have my friends. All my friends can walk with me. Walk, walk with me. All my friends can walk with me. Walk, walk with me. I don't sit alone. I don't sit alone. I don't sit alone. I have my friends. I don't sit alone. I don't sit alone. I don't sit alone. I have my friends. All my friends can sit with me. Sit, sit with me. All my friends can sit with me. Sit, sit with me. I don't eat alone. I don't eat alone. I don't eat alone. I have my friends. I don't eat alone. I don't eat alone. I don't eat alone. I have my friends. All my friends, they eat with me. Eat, eat with me. All my friends, they eat with me. Eat, eat with me. I don't play alone. I don't play alone. I don't play alone. I have my friends. I don't play alone. I don't play alone. I don't play alone. I have my friends. All my friends, they play with me. Play, play with me. All my friends, they play with me. Play, play with me. I don't read alone. I don't read alone. I don't read alone. I have my friends. I don't read alone. I don't read alone. I don't read alone. I have my friends. All my friends, they read with me. Read, read with me. All my friends, they read with me. Read, read with me. I walk, 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 walk with all my friends. I sit, 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 sit with all my friends. I eat, 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 eat with all my friends. I play, 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 play with all my friends. I read, 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 read with all my friends. I walk, 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 walk with all my friends. What do you think, Spark? Is that fun? Huh? Yeah. We can walk and eat and talk and get frustrated with our friends, right? That's what friends are for. We work through it. That's what makes us better friends, doesn't it? That's true. Well, we have one more story for you, don't we? That's right. It's from A.A. Milne's Now We Are Six. Not When We Are Six, but Now We Are Six. And there's the cover. It is by A.A. Milne with illustrations by Ernest H. Shepard. This is called The End. When I was 1, I had just begun. When I was 2, I was nearly new. When I was 3, I was hardly me. When I was 4, I was not much more. When I was 5, I was just alive. But now I am 6. I'm as clever. So I think I'll be 6 now, forever and ever. That's kind of like Nata, isn't it? You know, when you were 1, when you were 2, when you were 3, you forget about all of those times and you think, oh yeah, it was okay when I was that age, but now I'm 6 and I'm the best I'll ever be. And then 7 rolls around and guess what? You're the best you'll ever be at 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 and 55. You know, the thing about it is making each day a special, wonderful day and just living it to its best. Even if you're a little bit grumpy, work through that grumpy, get to the end of the day, make it the best it can be. Well, Spark, are you ready to say goodbye? It's time to say goodbye, everybody. Can't believe it's gone so quickly. Well, Sparky and I will be back on Monday, won't we, Spark? And we're going to have Midnight Monday because I have some really great stories about the dark. Right? So Monday will be Midnight Monday, and I hope you guys will all join me and Sparky. And in the meantime, let's say goodbye. Okay, Spark, you ready to play the guitar? I know this is your favorite time. He loves to play the guitar, everybody. He wants me to let him play the guitar more often, but you know, sometimes his little arms get in the way. Okay, here we go. Let's say goodbye. Goodbye, Jayce. Goodbye, Delilah. Goodbye, Bella. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, Maya. Goodbye, Gabriella. Goodbye, Lillian. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, Madeline. Goodbye, Charlotte. Goodbye, Jalen. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, Ollie. Goodbye, Danny. Goodbye, Helen. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, Allie. Goodbye, Lily. Goodbye, Eli. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, Shelby. Goodbye, Francine. Goodbye, Frangelica. I'll see you all next time. Well, Sparky and I would like to wish you a very, very happy weekend. Don't we, Spark? And we hope that you have a great bunch of things planned for yourself. And if you want to, check out our website, www.sophie-world.com, if you need some ideas for what to do this weekend for fun. But in the meantime, Sparky wants to give you a high 3. He's going to give me one. Boop. Thank you. And one for you. Boop. And I'm going to give you one, too. High 5. And if you would like a hug, now is the time. Take one hand, put it on one shoulder. Take the other hand, put it on the other shoulder. And close your eyes and squeeze really, really tight. Now open your eyes. That's a big hug from me and Sparky to you. Everybody, we'll see you on Monday for Midnight Monday. Everybody have a great weekend. Talk to you soon.